All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I am Cecilia Savajan, the Database Information Specialist on Travel Oregon's Brand Stewardship team, and I'm very happy to welcome our presenter today, the Director of Customer Success at Locl. Kat Sherry is going to tell us about Locl and their new AutoPilot feature. Welcome, Kat.
Thank you. I appreciate the intro, Cecilia. Thanks for your help organizing this as always. Hi, everyone. If I didn't say hello to you as you came in, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. I am the Director of Customer Success here at Locl. If we have not connected previously, I'm very excited to meet you all. I kind of wear a lot of hats here. So I am the Director of Customer Success, but I'm also on the other side of our support queue as well. And I interface with all of the businesses that are on our platform, making sure that they get the best value out of Locl, which is why I'm here today and here to talk to you a little bit more about not only Locl, but our AutoPilot feature as well. So, quick agenda. What is Locl? Thank you so much for filling out the registration questions ahead of this webinar. It helps guide the content that I talk about, some questions that I might answer. I know some of you are brand new to Locl, so I'm so excited that you are interested. Locl is essentially a platform that helps you manage your Google business profile. We have set it up so that it is specifically curated for small businesses. And whether you have tons of marketing experience or none at all, Locl's super user friendly so that you can manage your Google business profile because it is your digital front door to your customers. So we'll go into some more features, but there is no Locl without Google and without a Google business profile. So in order to use Locl, you do have to have a claimed and verified Google business profile. So part of my agenda will be covering fundamentals of Google business profiles so that that's set up so that you can get onto Locl and use this as a resource as well. Then I'll jump into the differentiators between Locl and using Google natively to manage your Google business profile. You might know it as Google My Business too. But we'll go into some key features. As we mentioned a couple times, AutoPilot is our newest subscription level, and it is our AI tool and how we're using it to help business owners do what they should be doing and what they do best, which is running their business and helping you guys save time. I'll jump into a platform demo. Visual is everything. We're visual creatures. It's probably my favorite part. So we'll go into the platform itself. To those that volunteered to demo on your account, thank you so much. That helps so much. I have one of them pulled up and I've already gone through it. So I'm really excited to give some feedback about that. We'll open it up to questions as we're going through the demo. Feel free to interrupt. To me, that says that you're listening. So don't worry about hurting my feelings. And then if there's any questions that maybe I didn't cover during the demo, at the very end, we'll open it up for some Q&A as well. And although our time here is limited, I am here for you all the time. There is always a way to get a hold of me at Locl so that you guys have continued support as you're navigating through the platform. So I'll flash up some resources for continued support afterwards, especially if we end this session and you go into your Locl account and you're like, oh, what did Kat say? I'll show you how you can get a hold of me afterwards. So let's jump into it. Locl and Travel Oregon. Our program with Travel Oregon started at the end of 2021. To date, we have 569 participating businesses using Locl through our Travel Oregon partnership, which is absolutely amazing. The growth that we've seen has been incredible year over year and continues. And we want to make sure that there's more businesses getting the full suite of tools that Travel Oregon offers and Locl as a benefit. So Um, this is a nice little quote from Mr. Mark Patterson at Mayor Glassby Field Tours. He is a huge advocate of Locl. Working with him has been wonderful, and it is my goal to make sure all of you feel the same way about Locl and are advocates about our platform as well. So what's really cool about Locl is we give you an online visibility score of your Google business profile as soon as you start with Locl. I pulled up one of our Travel Oregon partners just to show you that side-by-side comparison and what not only Locl, but specifically AutoPilot does for your online visibility. This original baseline scan, which you do get a baseline score, which translates to your online visibility, was pulled August 29th, 2024. And here is current score. I pulled this last week when I was putting this deck together. You don't have to know a ton about our scoring. I will go into it to see that, higher numbers and green is better. So in the span of, some time, this was pretty quickly. AutoPilot has been available within the last year. That online visibility has increased substantially, which is our goal here and what we want to see all businesses on our platform do. So let's get into some Google Business Profile fundamentals and why that's important. It's every business's digital front door. It's your digital first impression. 77% of the time, Google Maps is used for to search for a nearby business, right? We see coffee near me, restaurants near me, when someone is traveling, or even when you're in market. I think about how I use Google just like organically when I'm looking for things to do, places to eat, things to see. I'm looking for things on maps proximity wise. So it's super important to have a Google business profile, especially if you are a small business, because it directly impacts your online visibility, those local search rankings, and it builds customer trust. Most consumers use Google to find local businesses. So having a Google business profile helps you appear in those local search results. First impressions matter, which we know. We've known that for a while, but really, really important on Google as well because it displays key information like your operating hours, photos of the goods, services that you provide, and reviews, right? We're big on referrals. So this is what folks are looking at often before they even visit your website. And this is how they're building their impression of your business. And lastly, and probably my favorite part, it's free. A Google Business Profile is free to you. It is a no-cost tool. You don't really lose anything by having it. You only have something to gain. And it's not only free, but it is powerful. You can have, it gives you measurable impact on traffic, engagement, and revenue. So really, really critical asset to have for a small business to help with that searchability and visibility locally within your market. So if you have not claimed and verified your Google business profile, I'm going to walk you through. Please don't be intimidated. I promise it's very easy. I pulled up an example of a business that's close to me and how you can do this on Maps. Super easy. It took me like 5 seconds to do this. So if you have not claimed and verified your Google business profile, you can pop open Google Maps and look for your business. And if it has not been claimed, you're going to see a little button here that says claim this business. Once you click on that, because you are the business owner, you're going to get a prompt here from Google that says, okay, Kat, if you are the manager of this, hit manage now. Once I hit manage now, 99.9% of the time, Google will then send me to a video verification. A video verification or any of the steps of verification, it's predominantly video right now for Google, is just you saying that you are who you say you are and you do what you say you are doing for your business. It's Google's way of legitimizing that you are what you say you are, so that you can own this pinpoint on a map. So you'll go through the video verification piece. A couple of tips on that is it doesn't have to be super long. It should only be about like 35 to 45 seconds. And it's really important to get critical information like signage is really important, location, where your street views are, and then to show something that only like a business owner would have access to, whether that is keys to a door or a drawer or logging onto a computer. That's the kind of information that you'd like to show Google during your verification video piece. What's also really important that some people forget to do, and then they call me up and they're like, Kat, I did the video verification and I didn't get verified. My video got denied. What did I do wrong? 9 times out of 10, someone has not talked during their video. It is very important for you to speak about what you're trying to show Google because they're trying to make sure you're a real person and you're a real business. So if you're struggling with a verification piece, remember the video should be pretty short, and then please make sure you're narrating through what you're trying to show Google. It's really simple. You hit the upload button and Google reviews it, and typically it will take between 5 to 7 days to get approved. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, but Google's been moving pretty quickly on this one. I've seen automatic verifications be approved. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, but it's not too terrible. And you can always go in and check your verification status by signing into your Google account and then going to your business profile manager in the waffle icon menu. And a status column will show whether it's verified, pending, or not verified. So if you aren't even sure, like, I think I've claimed this business, I'm not sure if I've verified, you can always go into your business profile manager and double check there. So the example that I showed on claiming and verifying is for a physical location. If you offer services and you go to customers but don't have a physical storefront, you can still be on Google. Google is for you as well. So when you go through the verification piece, it's just a little bit different. You sign into your Google account and then you'll go to your business profile manager and then go through these same steps, but you'll enter in that you are a service area business. Google will ask you, do customers come to your location? You would say no. Then you'll be prompted to set it up as a service area business. I think of it as like a plumber or an electrician. They come to you, not the other way around. So really important if you think that because you offer services and you don't have a physical storefront or a brick and mortar location, you can still be on Google. And I do encourage you to be on Google because that's where people are searching. So now that we are on Google, we've been claimed and verified. Now you can use Locl. Why would I use Locl? Like, what are the benefits of it? And I'll cover this in more depth during the demo, but what makes Locl really special is we offer a comprehensive suite of tools designed to enhance and streamline your Google business profile, providing significant advantages over manual handling. So you can do manual edits and updates through Google natively, but it's very clunky. And Google doesn't offer you like a lot of prompts to tell you what needs to be done. You're really like left to your devices, where Locl comes in to help streamline that. So our overarching approach can lead to increased visibility, customer engagement, and then ultimately business growth. A couple key features. We have an enhanced security. This is specific to Locl. Google allows users to suggest edits to your business profile, which can lead to unauthorized or incorrect changes. You guys might have seen it. If not, I encourage you to like Google a business, maybe your business. And when you pull up maps, you'll see a little pencil icon that says suggest an edit. Anyone out in the interwebs can suggest an edit to your Google business profile. We do see this commonly with like hours, business hours being updated. Also phone numbers. Phone numbers can happen as well. I don't think it's malicious, but we have seen an uptick in this with Google AI. I think Google AI thinks it's helping and maybe sometimes it's not. So what's really cool about Locl is we have a profile lock feature where you can lock down your listing, and it monitors and prevents those unwanted changes from coming through, which maintains the integrity of your business listing information. Maybe this will never happen to you. Maybe this has happened to you before and you were like, I wish I would have known that Locl existed. It's just an extra layer of security and like an insurance policy. So it makes Locl your source of truth for your Google business profile. We also offer extended analytics and insights. Google only gives you about a 6 month look back, where Locl offers up to 18 months worth of data, giving you deeper insights into your profile's performance over time. And you can see that year over year comparison, which is really helpful to businesses as well. Then we have our social media integration, our social connector, which is super cool. So you can schedule and publish posts directly to Google, Facebook, most recently LinkedIn. We just got approved as with our LinkedIn integration, and Instagram as well. So you can do this all through Locl, and it helps obviously maintain consistent branding and engagement across platforms, but it's also a huge time saver. I know as someone who has to manage socials for us here, it's such a pain going in and out and copying and pasting and logging into Meta Business Suite and, all of that. So we make it super easy. You can connect all of those accounts from your Locl profile, and on AutoPilot, which I'm touching into in a minute, we automatically create posts that can be published each week to these different platforms. So AutoPilot is our AI solution, and it automates all of the required tasks needed to keep your Google business profile with very minimal effort. I'll go into some specific tasks that it takes off of your hands. So it's helping our small business owners focus on what matters most, running their business. We also have comprehensive support and a user-friendly interface, right? I've touched on that as well. We made Locl easy to use. It is for small business owners. You don't have to be a marketer. Don't be intimidated. My favorite people are the ones that reach out to me and say, I'm not tech savvy. Great. We have designed Locl for you. It is super easy to use. You will see the return on investment so quickly. And part of what makes it so special is we have those clear task recommendations or activities to help boost your online visibility, which takes the guesswork out of it. And our support team, me, is here to help you optimize your Google business profile every step of the way. We want to make sure you're getting the best value out of Locl and you're able to get your business in front of customers. Lastly, probably the most important too, it's free, guys. Like there is no downside to using Locl. For our tourism facing businesses through our partnership with Travel Oregon, this is a free resource to you. So treat your Google business profile like the asset it is. Take full advantage of our program with Travel Oregon. It's free to you. I got a quick question here. Can I take the video on my phone and complete the Google business profile verification later on my desktop? Maureen, great question. No. So you'll want to do it on your phone because they're looking for a real-time video upload. So you'll need to, as soon as you hit record to verify, it's going to bring you right to the video to record. So you can't do it on your desktop because what Google is asking you to do is really do like a walkthrough of your business and show some specific things. So you can't be taking your desktop and walking it around. So I encourage using your phone. That's how it's set up. So hope that helps answer your question. All right, cool. So let's get started with Locl. Some of you haven't yet. So here is your opportunity to create a free Locl account. The QR code is up. If you would prefer the link, we'll send that out to you. You can type it in if that's the method you so choose. It takes about 2 minutes. So you'll go to the Travel Oregon sign-in link that I have here and through the QR code. Please use the Travel Oregon sign-in link. We want to make sure you guys get it for free and you are in the correct Travel Oregon bucket. Once you have created your account, you'll just need to connect your Google business profile. We prompt all of this all the way through. So don't worry that like you have to remember this. We'll guide you through it through onboarding. The hardest part, what takes the longest time is business owners that maybe don't remember which Gmail their Google business profile is attached to or what their password is. So you do need those two things before starting on Locl. Once you remember your password and have the right Gmail account, there will be a prompt that asks you to allow Locl access to manage your Google business profile. It looks kind of intimidating. That's just language we have to use through Google. but it just allows us to make updates. So you'll hit allow, and then it will automatically link your Google Business Profile to Locl, and all of your information from your Google Business Profile will start to populate into Locl. Happens almost instantaneously. It's really cool. Once that's done, you can complete your onboarding steps. Our tab will guide you through, and you're in. That's it. You can enroll in AutoPilot and start optimizing your Google Business Profile right away. Maureen, I'm seeing, does Google make the video walkthrough public or is it private? It is private. It is specific to your business and it is private. So no worries there. They are very secure. All right, great. So now we've started our Locl account through Travel Oregon. Let's take a look at some of our platform and let me demo on one of our accounts. If you guys already have a Locl account and would like to follow along as I'm demoing, I'll let you guys get logged in and give you a quick second. Sometimes I think that's a little bit helpful. Let me get this pulled down and then all right. And I don't know if Michelle is on the call, but Michelle was one of our volunteers for letting us demo on her account. So thank you so much for that. I'm really excited. I went through this account and there is a lot that we can do to help optimize this. So as I had mentioned previously, what you get with Locl is an immediate health score. It's built like a credit business bureau score, but I have some people that have some heart palpitations, maybe some student loans that makes them a little bit nervous. So I like to think of it as a health score. And it's comprised of 3 different buckets. So our first here is our foundational score. This is your basic Google Business Profile information. Name, hours, address, phone number, that all goes into your foundational score. Recent activity is what it suggests. It's the recency of activity on your Google Business Profile. This can be how recently you've uploaded photos, how recently you've been reviewed, how recently you've responded to those reviews, how recently you've posted updates to your Google Business Profile. And then lastly is our directory score. While directory sync, which is what directory score is tied to, is not necessary for you to participate in our program through Travel Oregon, it is available to you as an add-on. And essentially what it does is it takes your listing information and automatically synchronizes it across 50 top directories without you having to do it manually. So Uber, Waze, Bing, MapQuest, Apple, so that your listing information is available on all those directories automatically for 2 reasons. One, any customer is able to find you wherever they are searching. 2, Google loves prominence. So if someone's looking for pizza near me, even if it's on Google Maps, if Google can detect that your listing information is on all these other directories and it goes, wow, this is an important business, I got to pull this to the top of search. So that's our directory sync service. It is an add-on through our partnership with Travel Oregon. We do discount it. It's $79 a year for unlimited syncs or updates. So once you enroll, all of your listings get pushed out automatically to all these directories. And then if you make any updates, hours are the biggest ones. And of course, we're right ahead of the holidays. As you push out updates, or maybe you moved a location or changed a phone number, when you update that in Locl, it automatically updates across those directories as well. So again, just keeping everything consistent and accurate. So these are the 3 scores that build up your overall business score. And then down here, you can see your score trends over time and how different activities or lack of activities impact that score. Off to the side here, this is everything AutoPilot's doing for you in the background. So I'll go into more specifics, but if you want an eagle eye of what AutoPilot has scheduled for you, here is all of the upcoming activities. And every user that enrolls in AutoPilot gets an email about all of these activities. So you're not turning on AutoPilot and a robot is taking over your Google Business Profile. We built AutoPilot with substantial ramp so that you have oversight over everything AutoPilot has scheduled. You get an email about all of this. You have the ability to approve what AutoPilot has scheduled, edit, or cancel it if you prefer it not to go out. So you have full oversight and full reign over what AutoPilot's doing. And then everything down here is all of the activities AutoPilot has completed on your behalf. So that's a quick view of our overview dashboard. I will pause here for any questions. If not, I can start jumping into some other features. Cool. All right, let's get into some photos and videos. If you are doing anything right now and take anything away from this and what you should be doing, because that was the question I had just gotten recently was, okay, well, what's the most important? Please upload photos. Even if you did it last month, upload some more. So what's really cool about AutoPilot is we typically have a lot of business owners that have a big folder of photos and they're like, oh great, I got this big batch of photos, I'll upload it once. That's great. However, Google's algorithm is very hungry. You can think of it even as like social media. The more photos, the better. There's never enough. So what AutoPilot does for your photos and your videos is you can bulk upload a whole bunch of photos and videos, and it will create collections or batches of photos to be uploaded each month in the background so you don't have to worry about doing it. So it defaults to 5 photos uploaded per month, but this is changeable. So if you wanted it to do 2 or 3 or 10, all you have to do is edit how many photos you want in that batch, hit save, and then it parses those out. It will fall under scheduled collections here. We don't have any as an example in this specific account, but then you can see each batch that has been scheduled out, and then when they'll be published as well. So that date is there. And then any other Google Business Profile, like published collections you already have, even if you were doing stuff natively within your Google Business Profile prior to Locl, all of it gets uploaded within here. So all of your photos still exist. You still have access to them. And then what is really cool is if this is all brand new to you and you haven't been paying much attention to your Google Business Profile, you can come in here and set a cover and a logo photo as well. We see a lot of businesses forget to do this, like they start uploading photos, which is all great. But for some great brand recognition and to look really good to your customers, you can also set that cover and that logo photo. So that's available to you within Locl as well, making it really, really easy for you to get some great photos out there. I do like to focus on photos first because it feeds into posting. So moving to posts, and I did pop in here and I saw publishing was disabled. So again, with AutoPilot, you have full control over what AutoPilot is doing. You can see this toggle here, which is what makes this a great example. If you don't want posts to be published each week, or you don't want reviews to be responded to, you can always turn off publishing, and that will disable AutoPilot from taking those activities on your account. If you'd like it to run, just leave it toggled on and it will do its thing. You'll get emails along the way. So if you have publishing turned on, and we do encourage posts, this is like your social media component of your Google Business Profile. You can think of it as a Facebook or an Instagram. And you can see here some of the posts that AutoPilot had created. And what AutoPilot does is it indexes those photos that you've published to your Google Business Profile and creates evergreen content to go out each week to post updates to your consumers. All of it's going to be evergreen. There won't be anything too crazy specific here. It indexes your Google business profile, which picture it's selected, and then your website as well. So it's also not going to be super crazy and say, oh, enjoy this food tour in Colorado, right? It knows you're in Oregon. It understands your service area. Um, and it's not going to talk about like something crazy that isn't related to this picture either. It indexes all of that information. So each week, a post is published to go out. If you connect your socials, here you can see them up at the top, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can toggle those on and it will also publish across those social channels as well. What's also really cool about AutoPilot is we highlight 5-star reviews. So when your location gets a 5-star review, we create a standalone post and it highlights the text included within that 5-star review. And you can choose if you get like multiple 5-star reviews within a month, you can pick which text or what comment you'd like to highlight within that post. And it's just a big woohoo party, 5-star review. And then hours changes as well. If you update the hours to your business, we create a standalone post just letting consumers know, hey, my business hours have been updated. Just double check those before you stop by. And if you're like, okay, well, this is great, but I'm running an event, how do I advertise that? Well, that's a great question. You come here to create post manually. And then here are other Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Once they're connected, they're not gray anymore. And then you can pick your post type. In this example, we'll say event. And then you just build your post. So you pick an image that you want to use, your event start and end times, the description, what call to action you're going to include. And then what's really cool, you can schedule this post. Like, let's say I want this to start in December. Like I'm running an event in December. I can schedule this to go out in December and pick what time. And then maybe I want this post to go out every week of December to advertise this event. You can set up this post to be recurring and I can set it up weekly for 4 weeks. So this continues to publish in the background without you having to recreate it, which is really cool. And then this is completely customizable. So you have a custom schedule, you can set it up for forever. And again, these dates and these times are customizable as well. Then you just hit publish and it's out there. So really, really cool. What I do hear a little bit of feedback about AutoPilot is, hey, Kat, this post is great, but it's not like really in the tone of voice that I would say, which that's totally fine. That's why we give you oversight over what AutoPilot is doing. Come in and edit it. We've gotten you 90% there, right? You didn't have to go in and manually create it. You just had to change some text. Go ahead and publish it and it's good to rock and roll. Okay, any questions about posts? Cool. All right, let's go to reputation. So similarly, here is what publishing toggled on looks like. So review responses are toggled on for AutoPilot. What AutoPilot will do is within within 4 days of you receiving a review, it will publish a response. So again, we have that long ramp up so that you can, one, see that a new review has been published. And then two, you can see what AutoPilot has scheduled in response to that review. You have 4 days to do it. There is a countdown when it's scheduled before it's going to publish as well. And then if you jump into Locl and you're like, I have way more reviews than, these few that I'm seeing here. We do have a date range picker here. Sometimes it's a little bit hidden and we default to the last 90 days. So if you're looking for older reviews, you just have to change the date range. So just a little pro tip in here. But you can sort by star rating, and then what's been responded to, what hasn't been replied to. And then what's really cool is that you can click get more reviews because we hear small businesses say, I know reviews are important, but I haven't been the best at soliciting them for my Google business profile. You just hit this little get more reviews button, or even this one here. And then I'll show you what it looks like in real time. You can share that with a customer at point of sale because they've had a great experience. And then voila, here pulls up my review, and I can give you a 5-star review and share descriptions about my experience at your location. Hit post, there's a new review. So super handy. We do give you those links to share in real time. Point of sale helps a ton for that. So if you haven't been asking for reviews, now's a good reminder, right? It's before the holiday season, really good to get those good reviews in. And then similar to what we saw with posts being disabled. If you're like, I am a tour guide operator, like my friend Mark that we talked about, and I personally interface with every person that comes through my doors, I want to personally respond to all of those reviews, you can go ahead and turn publishing off. You'll get notification that you get a review, you can pop in and you can respond to those personally, right? This is a customizable experience for you. So feel free to use this at your leisure. I have also had new businesses. This is a new one for me. I've had businesses leave publishing on because Google hasn't consistently sent them notifications about a new review being published to their Google business profile. So they've been using Locl's AutoPilot to tell them that they have a new review because they haven't been getting those email notifications. And then they'll come in and they'll edit the review response and publish that way too. So maybe if you've experienced that, that's a different way to use our reputation tab and AutoPilot in that capacity. Any questions about any of that?
We got quite a few in the chat, Kat. I answered some directly. Let's see.
Okay, so I'm seeing from Brian, okay, language that it uses. Okay, great. I think I've got, okay, Michelle. So can you program or give insights to the voice and language that it uses? So we're getting there. What AutoPilot in the future will look like is you'll be able to feed it prompts to give it tone of voice and be more specific about what it posts and teach AutoPilot your voice, the content that you want it to focus on. So that's coming within our next iteration. Right now, that's why we give you oversight because we're just not there quite yet. The length of code that we had to write, I think, is as tall as me. So this was like our first fledged attempt at, introducing AI, and now we've collected this feedback and now we're making enhancements. So soon to come, you guys will be the first to know once that's available. And then it looks like from Brian here, I keep getting similar posts in AutoPilot. Can you go further into where it pulls info from and how to feed it more content specifically to generate wider content in posts? Great question. So AutoPilot is going to index your website. So making sure your website is up to date with services and what you want to focus on as well. Products that you offer, like make sure that language is included within there. And then I'll go into business descriptions too. That's some of where it pulls information to. And there's a way that we can teach AutoPilot without having it be prompt fed. So I'll show you when we go into manage locations, a couple areas that folks forget about to show AutoPilot, like these are the things that you need to focus on. But website's really important. And then it's also going to pull from your Google business profile as well. So any of the information within there, I'm going to show you when we go to manage locations where I'm talking about. And then Michelle, you asked, can you create templates and remove any auto-generated recommendations that you don't like specific to review replies? So you can always come in and remove anything that you don't like. That's why we give you that 4-day ramp up and you get that email. You're able to come in and edit at any point in time within those 4 days. And even if it publishes and you're like, oh my goodness, I forgot to review that review response, you can edit your response after it gets published as well. We don't keep like a bank of replies anymore to keep it more customized to the review response. So it's saying in this example, right, David, it's like first name, David, I'm so glad, you had a great experience. And then AutoPilot also incorporates keywords from that review response too. I'm like, here's like a really great one here. So using urban wine tasting and then tours, specifying small groups. Those are those are the key terms and the language that AutoPilot will use to help with instant SEO. So in those review responses, when people are searching for like small group tours, that your location is pulling up. We help businesses with signage displays. We point their Google links. Can a third party develop a Google business profile for them through Locl? So Jay, good question. If you need help claiming and verifying a Google business profile on behalf of someone else, you can do it. That is available to you. I think you're talking specifically about the claiming and verification piece of it. You can do it on behalf of someone, but you will need manager access to the Google business profile, regardless of whether it's been verified or not. And then if you're helping with it, you'll still need manager access. So Brian, let me guide you through what I was talking about in terms of like what to feed AutoPilot in terms of information. So if you pop down to manage locations and then hit edit, this is where your core business information lives. Publishing was turned off for a business description. I'm so sorry. Publishing was turned off for this business description, but what AutoPilot also does is each month, if publishing is turned on, it creates a keyword-rich business description based off of the top search terms from the previous month for you to incorporate. We often see business descriptions forgotten about. This one's great. This one actually had a lot of really good language in it, but sometimes we see some that is like, I'm a tour operator in Oregon. And it's like, well, all of that is true. That's not going to help with search engine optimization, right? So AutoPilot helps with that so that you have that monthly fresh keyword-rich business description that you can use. It tells Google, hey, I'm interacting with my customers. Google likes to see that. Online visibility goes up, which is why we've structured AutoPilot in this way. So I'm going to go over this a little bit quickly because some of it is pretty basic. You have your business hours down here, and then you can set special hours as well. Right ahead of the holidays, we always load in like US bank holidays so that you can come in and like easily adjust those and you don't forget, right? I forgot Veterans Day was on a Tuesday and my week's been off ever since. So if you're popping into Locl and confirming business hours, we always have bank holidays within there, but maybe you have an abbreviated schedule, like before the holidays, or maybe like a plumber's coming, you're having a team outing. You can always add a new date here, pick which date, and then you can customize hours. Maybe you close at like 2 o'clock today or something like that. You can go in and set the open close schedule for a specific day as well, which super helpful. And then the rest of this information is pretty straightforward. Your primary category is required, but oftentimes businesses forget about additional categories. This is super hidden in Google natively, and because it's not required, most folks forget about it, but it allows you to cast a wider net for the services or the products that you offer. In this case, while you are a tour operator, you're also a tour agency and a food and beverage consultant. That's a wider net. So I always encourage people to come in here, and AutoPilot suggests categories here at the bottom. Some of them fit, some of them don't, right? Use what fits. If you're not doing whale watching tours, please don't put whale watching tours. That doesn't make any sense. But you just type in here, and here are a ton of options to choose from. Google is always refreshing these. So it's always good to pop in here and see what's available. They change every year, and we've seen Google make changes like mid-year as well to what's available. But again, it just because those categories are so stringent, it really helps you create a little bit more of a net in terms of the services and the products that you offer. So don't forget about those. And then what also gets forgotten about is our service area business. Obviously, Portland, Oregon is in here, which is fantastic. But the rule with service area business, this is the service radius that you offer goods or products in. And Google's rule is you can add up to 20 locations for your service area so long as it is within a 2-hour drive of your location. So if it fits within that radius, you can add up to 20 locations, go nuts. We have some businesses that really want to be specified in a specific city, in a specific region. This is your opportunity to do this. People are looking for you on a map. Proximity is super important. Make sure you have your service area included within here. And then the rest of this is just general information, how people can get a hold of you. This is also other information that we index, Brian. So make sure that you have these links within here so that AutoPilot knows where to pull info from. But when we go to attributes and services, this one's really key for feeding AutoPilot really good information. So based off of the business that you'll have these business attributes that'll pop up that you can select. But when you come down here to services, this often gets forgotten about. Great, services are in here. This is fantastic. So here's where you can be a bit more creative with what you offer. So yes, we are a tour operator, but what does that mean? Here is where you can come in and add services that expand what you're offering to consumers. Here is what's really important about what you feed to AutoPilot. So not only are we a tour operator, we do city tours, we do group tours, we do private tours, we do food tours. AutoPilot knows you do all of this stuff so that it can help curate those posts each month. If you haven't added services, I encourage you to do that. That's the easiest way to teach AutoPilot what to do. Really important to come in here and do this. I'm so glad to see that these are in here. This is fantastic. Good reminder for businesses as well. And then while we're in here, this is how you can find profile lock as well. This is how you can lock down your profile, keep it safe from those discrepancies or any suggested edits that might pass through. Again, it's not to say that this has happened to everyone. 0 changes have been prevented. Nothing's been edited outside of Locl to this specific Google business profile. Some folks don't see it, some people do. The lock is just there as an insurance policy. I will say though, if you lock your profile and then try to make changes in Google natively, Locl will block those changes from happening. This profile lock makes Locl your source of truth. So just a heads up, I do have some people that are like, I went in and updated hours in my Google business profile and Locl reverted them. That's what profile lock is intended to do. So just a reminder, if profile lock is on, you will have to use Locl to make updates. Brian, how did you pull up the list of services? Okay, great. So I'm going to go back to attributes and services under manage locations. And then I'm just going to scroll here. And then these services, so the categories are pulled from your primary category and then any additional categories that you have added to your Google business profile. If you are missing services, you just select add another service. And then you can add custom services. Sometimes they feed in, sometimes they don't, but it's really easy just to add a custom service and just to start typing. So hit add a service and then you can hit save. And that's how you get to them. Cool. All right, any questions about any of that? All right. I showed you one way to link your social accounts. You can do that through your post tab here, right? We saw these icons here at the top. If you forget, you can always come down to connected accounts. And you can connect your Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn here as well. You're going to see the same prompts that you did when you connected your Google Business profile. It just allows permissions for Locl to publish edits on your behalf. And then our Google Business Performance tab here up under Performance, this is where all of that good data and analytics lives. While we have a larger look back than Google, here you can see the year-over-year comparison. It always defaults to the previous month. So if you want to see a wider range, the last 60 days, 90 days, the last year, you just need to toggle to that. And then you'll see all of your consumer actions. Here is your visibility. So this is how consumers are finding you, whether that's through Google Maps natively or Google browser searches. And then how your visibility has increased or decreased over the specified date range that you've selected. And then your top search terms within that date range too. How people are finding you, what words are they using, how they're locating you. So all of that is housed within your Google Business Performance tab. I am going to, because I'm trying to be mindful of time, I'm going to head to the visibility score tab. After I finish this, everyone goes, okay, cool, Kat. I started my Locl account. I confirmed all my business information. I got those services added. I uploaded new photos. I still need help with my score. You can come to the visibility score tab. This is going to be your little cheat sheet, and you're going to hit view score. And here, what is impacting your local visibility score? You can use this as your cheat sheet on what actions need to be taken and where you're losing points or where activities have helped increase those points as well. Pretty straightforward. Here's a perfect example. We saw a category didn't have services listed, so that's that point deduction there. And then each one shows you which bucket it's contributing to. We haven't seen any new photos published to your Google Business profile. You're losing points for that. It applies to recent activity. So if you ever have any questions about what to do next, right? AutoPilot does a lot, but not everything. We still need some help from you. You can always come in here and check to see what scoring is associated with which bucket and what actions need to be taken. This defaults to the last 30 days. Usually that's more than enough information to get you headed in the right direction. But if you'd like to see all activity, you can just toggle to all activities too. And then again, your score tracker is here as well, so you can follow along. I am going to stop here. You can also export this if you need to share it or download it too. But I will pause here for some Q&A. If there was anything that I did not answer that you would have liked me to cover in the demo, or, oh my goodness, we are seeing some questions come in. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Okay, Michelle, can you clarify if the physical address in our Locl profile shows publicly on your Google Business profile? We have an address listed in our profile. It's wrong, but we don't like the address. Sorry, my scroll is horrible. We don't like the address being publicly visible because we do not have a customer facing business office. If we change, update our services in Locl, it'll become visible. There's a setting in Locl to make sure it is not visible. This is a great question. Okay, so if you want to, a couple cautionary things to say about hiding your address. So you can come into manage locations and then toggle address not visible on Google Business profile. That's how you can hide your address. Be careful with this because I don't want to trigger a re-verification. You can't come in here and like go crazy and click this thing on and off. You will trigger a re-verification. Google will be like, what the heck is happening? So you can hide it, but move with caution. If you would like to hide it, you can toggle address off. So just a heads up, that is available to you if you would like to hide your address and make sure that it's not visible to customers. Also, if you aren't servicing customers at your business, maybe it's appointment by by appointment only. Something specific like that that may not be applicable to your business, but because we're covering it, I do utilize your business description. Obviously, AutoPilot won't know to do that. So I always tell people, like, if you are by appointment only, or you're not customer facing, or you're placing orders through a certain date, always add that to your business description. I think that that's super helpful just to tell people, like, straight up as soon as they see it. Okay, cool. This may be a little unique. I have a walk-in business and I operate a website under a different business name from the same location. Most of my online customers are on the East Coast. I have the address turned off for the online business and have the service area set to US and Canada only. However, sometimes I get customers that only find my online business and not my local walk-in business. It happens less since I started using Locl. So anything I can do to prevent that from happening. Yeah, so Brian, to answer your question, I would recommend, I might have to take a look specifically at your profile and how it's set up. But I almost think that your service area is too wide. um, it because it depends on where you're servicing people. US and Canada, you can set within your service area. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit more specific, right? We're in Travel, Oregon, so I'm going to use that as a reference point. We have Portland, Oregon selected here, so I'm going to do that. I would make sure that your service area is a little bit more specific so that when people are searching for that, they're finding it. However, that being said, we can nationally, you can provide products and services to anyone. You can set US and Canada as your service area. So I might want to take a look at just your overall visibility score to see if maybe it's just a visibility issue with some settings that you have within it versus like a service area and how that's set. So it might just be a setup question and visibility as a whole versus taking different steps within Locl. But I'm glad that using Locl will help with that. One thing that I do recommend, if you are having a visibility issue, Directory Sync helps out a ton with that. Even if you are a service area business and hide that address, as a heads up, some of our directories do require an address to enroll in them, but they don't publish it. They just need it so that they know where you're located, but it doesn't get published publicly. But it does help with that overall visibility as well. So I might recommend that to you. Let's see. I understand your organization is promoting Travel Oregon. Do you have alignments in Washington and California? Yes, we do have a partnership with Washington, not yet in California. Jay, it sounds like it might be best for you and I to connect afterwards. It sounds like you're kind of managing a lot. And this is specific to our regional DMO partners and our small businesses within Oregon. So I think you and I should connect because I'm sensing you're running more of an agency, but happy to help answer your questions afterwards. Okay, cool. I am going to pop up some resources as people are jumping off here so that you can continue to keep in touch with us. If you are in Locl, the chat box in the lower right-hand corner, left-hand corner, I write with my right hand, is always available to you. You can submit a ticket that way. I do encourage people to follow us on LinkedIn. That's what we've been utilizing a lot to send out feature updates. So if you want really timely updates, give us a follow on LinkedIn. Use that chat box if you have questions, specific questions about your account. That sends a ticket right to me. I have all your account info, so it's really, really helpful for me to have that ticket. Or you can email us at support@locl.io, and then I'll turn it over to you, Cecilia, for Travel Oregon industry website stuff.
Yes, industry.traveloregon.com/listings. You can find all of our listing resources, local information, if you have specific Google business questions. We also have a newsletter, encourage you to sign up. That's how you'll learn about these training sessions. Yes, we packed a lot in to an hour, so you can follow up with us. You'll get this presentation emailed to you, and Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.